Hey guys, it's Aislinn, and in today's video, we're going to be trying some new color that Sally Beauty just released. So if you guys have not seen on my channel before, I have used the L'Oreal High Color High Lifts. Basically, it's a high lift permanent color that's going to take brunettes to like a cherry color or magenta or copper, so that way you don't have to use bleach. Wella just came out with the exact same thing. It's basically a dupe for L'Oreal High Color High Lifts. So we're going to test it today. I absolutely love L'Oreal High Color. I've used it so many times to prevent having to bleach the hair. It works amazing and the color lasts a lot longer than just putting semi-permanent color on your hair. So I absolutely love those ones. So I went ahead, I purchased all 4 shades from the Wella Colorcharm Vivids for Dark Hair. And we're gonna try them today on dark hair swatches as well as blonde hair swatches, just so we can see what it looks like. Let me run through the 4 colors they came out with. The first color is called Crushed Copper. The packaging doesn't look very copper, but I'm hoping it's more of like a brighter copper once it's on the hair. The next color is Ruby Red. Then we have Magenta, which I'm really excited about the magenta. And the last color is Violet. So we have 4 shades here: copper, red, magenta, and violet. A pretty strong base. Hopefully they add more colors into the mix. I'm sure they will over time. L'Oreal High Color has many different shades. They have reddish coppers, they have reddish pinks, like they have a lot more of a variety, but I'm sure as this line expands, they will add more colors in there. But honestly, 4 staple colors with all these different undertones is a pretty good start. I'm gonna go ahead and read the directions and see how it recommends me to mix up the color and what volume I'm supposed to use. So let me go ahead and read the directions and I'll be right back. The instructions are actually very simple. It says mix 1 part of the color with 1 part 30 volume developer. Then you're just going to process for 30 to 40 minutes. And it says it can lift 3 to 4 levels. So we're gonna go ahead and mix it up with 30 volume and see how it performs. Here are the swatches I got. As you guys can see, this is like a very, very pretty rich chocolate brown. And then we have some blonde here. So we're gonna put it on the chocolate brown swatches as well as on the blonde ones. All right, let's go in with the Crushed Copper. And again, I did mix this with 30 volume. I'm gonna go in with the Crushed Copper on the blonde now. Obviously, don't put this on platinum blonde hair because it's not meant for platinum blonde hair. And also, it's 30 volume, so you're not gonna wanna put 30 volume color on top of a already damaged platinum blonde. But just to see what the colors look like on blonde swatches, I do want to see what the true color is going to look like. All right, we're gonna go in with the next shade, which is the Ruby Red, which is kind of surprising because the Ruby Red doesn't come out of the tube red, but the magenta came out of the tube red. All right, let's go in with the Ruby Red. I already see this one turning. Let's go in with the Ruby Red shade on blonde hair. Let's go in with the magenta color. This one looks crazy. One thing I am noticing that's different between this and the L'Oreal one, the L'Oreal High Color is very, very strong. Like it will take your breath away from that like strong ammonia smell. This really doesn't smell. Like it doesn't have a fragrance to it. It doesn't smell good. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell strong like chemicals. It literally doesn't really have much of a fragrance to it, which I personally love. The L'Oreal High Color, you smell that bad boy. As soon as you mix it up, it smells so strong. It can like make your eyes water and stuff. It works really well, but it definitely has a pretty strong smell to it. So far, this smell is way better than that one. And I got the red on my hands and it is staining my hands. So wherever you touch this red to, it is going to stain. So definitely be careful with the magenta color. Let's go in on the blonde. I'm sure this is gonna look insane when we rinse it off the blonde. Move on to the last color, which is the Vivid Violet shade. Here we go. Okay, let's move on to the blonde swatch. All right, I have everything applied. I'm gonna let these process 30 to 40 minutes at room temperature, and then I will be right back so we can mix up some lightener and apply it halfway down and see if it removes the color out of the hair. So I will be right back in just a second. We are back after letting these sit for 40 minutes. I went ahead and rinsed all of them out, and let me tell you, these colors are so pretty. When I rinsed them out of the hair, I was like, okay, they don't look that much different. kind of a disappointment, but once the swatches were dried, you can really see the color difference and see how beautiful and rich these colors are. And also the hair feels amazing. The hair feels so soft and silky. It's very, very shiny. So let me go ahead and show you what the swatches look like. All right, here are the swatches. Look how beautiful they are. I already know that this is not going to pick up on camera, so let me take a little video on my phone here and show you what it looks like on my phone. Look how beautiful the copper is. It's just like a subtle cowboy copper. It's literally the definition of cowboy copper. It has a little copper undertone to it, but it's not too copper. Here's the red, and it is a beautiful, super deep red color. The magenta is definitely just giving red. It's not really pink or magenta at all. It literally just looks like a brighter red, but it's still so pretty. This is the only color that I don't like. This is the Vivid Violet, and it basically did nothing to the hair. It made it darker, and there is a slight violet undertone. I'm sure in the sunlight you would probably see hints of that violet, but overall I just think it made the hair look darker, and it's not very pretty. Here are the blonde swatches. Here is the copper color, so pretty on blonde. Here is that red. You can see the red has a little bit more of an orangey undertone, and then this one is like red, but it's like a pink undertone. And then here's the violet. Even on the blonde, the violet is so incredibly dark, you can barely see those violet tones in there. I went ahead and mixed up some lightener and 20 volume. We're gonna apply it on the swatches and see if it can get the color out of the hair. I just wanna mention, this probably is not going to work because in my experience, when you put bleach on red or orange, it does not come out of the hair. It like drives the pigment further into the hair. So I always recommend using Color Oops or Color Fix or Color Undo to remove red and oranges. It works so much better, and it's also way more gentle on the hair than reaching for bleach. So if you do have red in your hair you're trying to remove, definitely try Color Oops before jumping to bleach. Okay, here we go with the lightener. Apply this all over. Okay, let's put it on the red. I'm curious if it's gonna work on the copper or on the violet. I don't think it's gonna work on the red or the magenta, but it could work at removing the copper and the violet color. And I'm using bleach instead of like Danger Jones color remover because this is not semi-permanent. I use semi-permanent hair color remover when I'm trying to remove semi-permanent hair color. This is a permanent high lift color, so I'm using lightener because you wouldn't use a semi-permanent color remover on permanent hair color. Okay, I just applied this and I'm already seeing some of the color come out of the hair. I think this violet color is the one I am most intrigued to see how it lifts out of the hair and what happens because it just looks so dark right now. Do we think the color is going to come out better on the blonde hair or on the brunette hair? I think it's going to come out better on the blonde hair, but I don't know because blondes are notorious for like staining the cuticle. I just know that like if you put black permanent color on blonde hair and then remove it, it comes out way easier than if you did it on dark brown hair and then try and remove it. All right, I have all the lightener applied on the swatches. I'm gonna let this sit 20 to 30 minutes and I'll be right back so we can see if any of the color comes out of the hair. We are back after letting the bleach sit for 20 minutes on the swatches. Let me show you what they look like. All right, so here are what the strands look like. Honestly, it did a lot more than I thought it would. I didn't think we would get like any lift on any of the swatches, but here is the copper before and after. Here is that red shade. It's just like an orangey copper now. Here is that magenta. The magenta is the one that didn't come out of the hair like the most. Then we have the violet, which also lifted quite a bit. Then we move on to the shades that were previously blonde. The copper came all the way out of the hair right back to blonde. This one actually lifted a lot more than I thought it would to like a lighter orange peachy color. Here's the magenta. Again, the magenta on the blonde and on the brunette both seem to be the hardest to get out of the hair. And then the violet even came out of the hair to like a light peachy pink color. So here is what the swatches look like. Honestly, better results than what I thought we would get. Like I said, if you do use these or dye your hair red and you want to remove it, definitely try Color Oops before reaching for lightener. But I was shocked that lightener even did anything to these swatches. Overall, I really like the new colors from Wella, and I do think they are very similar to the L'Oreal High Color. Wella smells a lot better and is not as potent, and it doesn't like burn your eyes as badly. The Wella High Color Highlights I feel like is a little bit more intense and a little bit stronger, and I do think you get a little bit more more lift with the L'Oreal brand than with the Wella, but they seem to do relatively the same thing. L'Oreal also offers more colors. Wella, I'm sure, will come out with more colors, but right now they only offer 4 shades. I prefer the L'Oreal one. I just think it works better, but again, it is a little bit more potent and smells very strong. This one seems to be a little bit more gentle and not as like strong and overpowering. Again, I will leave these linked in the description down below in case you want to check them out. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.